Hi everyone. Um, I was up, so I thought I would do a video. Because this is something I think people don't, it's not commonly known. Um, with the diagnoses that I have between the dissociative identity disorder and the PTSD and sensory processing disorders, and oh, the list goes on. But with a lot of them, oh my gosh, a lot of them, sleep is non-existent. It's one of the symptoms, side effects, whatever you want to call it. And so I thought I'm up, so I thought I would do a video, and just kind of yak a little bit. It is now 5 o'clock, well, almost 5:15 in the morning here. And I have been up since 3, and I got in bed at like 9. And this is how it is. We always try to be in bed at a reasonable hour. Not that it really does us any good, but we're always trying to get into bed at a reasonable hour. But then I did not even fall asleep until about 11:30. Was when I actually felt like I could sleep. So I slept, and then it takes me about anywhere from half an hour to an hour plus, given the night, to fall asleep. So I honestly slept from about 12 to 3. So I'm on about 3, maybe 3.5 hours of sleep right now. And I was sleeping all right. I do not sleep peacefully most of the time. It's actually really weird and rare when I'm sleeping content and deeply and peacefully and restfully. I'm actually pretty restless. My whole family makes jokes that I do acrobatics in my sleep. That is because I cannot hold still. It's really kind of odd to see me sleep for more than about half an hour without moving in some sort of way. I don't just lay there, and whatnot. And I also wind up in really weird positions. So it's just like, not only did I only get 3 hours of sleep, but it's never like super deep, restful sleep that a lot of people typically get. And like I said, it's 5:15 in the morning. I've been up since 3, and like my hubby, he wakes up at this hour. He'll wake up anywhere from 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 5, but usually between by 4 he's awake. But he'll be awake for an hour or two and then go back to bed. It's just like he wakes up. It's something weird with his circadian rhythm. But I will more than likely be up for the rest of the day. I woke up at 3, and at 4 I tried to go back to bed and I just was awake. So I will more than likely, it's one of those days where I'm like, alright, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and we're up. Which just, ideally people think I'm just cool with the fact that on average I get 3 to 4 hours of sleep. I have slept 10 hours. It doesn't happen very often, but there have been days where I actually sleep a good 8 to 10 hours, and I love it. Love it. Those days, I actually understand why people like to sleep so much, and I would love to do that, you guys. I am constantly exhausted. Make no mistake, just because I have only slept that much since I was maybe 5 or 6 does not mean I'm used to it or I don't feel tired. I'm constantly exhausted. And one of the really hard things is it's not like I just woke up and I'm up. It's like I woke up, and for those that aren't familiar with D.I.D., it's apparently not that uncommon to essentially be hearing voices, which is really kind of frustrating to me that it's mentioned in that terminology, because you tell people you hear voices and they automatically think you're hallucinating. And in my opinion, it's not so much a hallucination. The voices you're hearing are actually usually your different personalities either talking to you or like talking to me or talking to each other, and they just happen to be close enough to be fronting that you can hear them, or I don't know, but it's not that uncommon. So it's not like I just woke up and like I was up. I woke up and my head was splitting. Just absolute splitting headache and whatnot. And like it was just, the voices were just so fucking loud. Like, I actually covered my ears when I woke up this morning, and then I realized, like, it's in my head, and that's not going to do much good, unfortunately, which I do that sometimes. Like, I'll try and cover my ears, and then I realize, like, that loudness is in my head, and covering my ears doesn't actually do anything. And then that proceeded pretty quickly from just hearing a lot of chatter and a major headache to what I call hamster brain, where my brain is awake, and it's like every time I wake up within half an hour to an hour of me being awake. Doesn't matter if like I'm awake and ready for the day or not. It's like the minute I'm awake and conscious, within half an hour to an hour of that, I get hamster brain, which is basically a nickname for racing thoughts, but it's not so much like I'm having racing thoughts. It's more like my brain goes into, okay, what do we got to do? Let's figure stuff out. Like, so right now we're looking for a car. And so here my happy little butt is at like 4:30 in the morning car shopping and looking into car dealerships and interest rates and APR and down payments and all this stuff. And then it's like, I went and had a cigarette, and my brain's like, oh crap, I forgot to get my neighbor's ice cream. Maybe I should walk to the store. It is dark out. I don't know what I'm thinking going to the store at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's still dark. And it's not like I have a safe road to walk on, guys. I have to walk like down this bridge and roundabouts, and it's not a good road to be walking in the dark. But my brain was like, oh shoot, I forgot to do that, and I need to go do it right now. And it was like, oh, my hubby's going to Winco today, and he needs a list because I can't go, thank God. That's something I haven't discussed with anyone on YouTube yet, is I have an issue where I'm really afraid of any building that I can't see all four walls. So Winco is really, really hard for me. So I hate going. So thankfully I have an appointment today, so I actually don't have to go. Thank you, Jenny. I almost said her name and then I realized I probably shouldn't. But like I was like, hubby's going to Winco today, and he actually needs me to make him a list, and I meant to do it last night, and it just, I don't know, it didn't happen. And so it's like, okay, I need to make a list, and it's all these things, and my brain's automatically in hamster brain, and it's like pretty quickly after I wake up going down the list of what do we have to get done. And it's like, makes things harder because it's like on one hand, the way I look at it is like, hey, you know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm awake. That gives me an extra, say most people wake up at 7, right? Let's just say that's the typical time most people get up in the morning. I'm like, hey, I'm up at 5. That gives me an extra 2 hours in my day that I can get stuff done. So it's like my brain's really in hamster brain with that 2 hours of extra time. And I want to use it productively, and I start to do something, and before I know it, I'm watching cartoons or something, you know, or I'm painting. Oh, that's so much better. You know, and it's like, it's not freaking easy. I survive on an ungodly amount of sleep, or lack of sleep, I guess. Like, I don't know what I'd do if I slept 6 hours every night on a regular basis. I think I would pee myself. And it's hard because like my brain's in this super productive mode where it's like, okay, let's get stuff done. And yet at the same time, I shit you not, I will probably sit here for the next hour farting around and not get anything done for like an hour. So I don't know, it's really hard to focus right now, guys, because I've got 100 things on my mind, and it's like, right now I'm like, hey, I'm doing this video, but I also want to do an update video, and I should probably talk about my dog, and all these things that are totally off the topic of not sleeping. So I kind of have to focus a little bit. And it's really distracting because I have one of my little's new magic trick set. I don't know if you can see it. It's over there. That's his little magic trick set, and it's like right within eyesight of me, and I'm wanting to play with it. And I don't need to because it's really loud. And it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Not that I wouldn't mind, you know, running that on my neighbor's head because she's mean, but no. And it's like I never wake up great. I feel like I got hit by a bus right now. I am sore, I hurt, I'm tired, but I'm like, I will still go about my day and get all my stuff done. I'll go to my appointment and deal with that, and then I will come home and go about my daily thing. Yeah, so I guess that's it for right now, because I'm kind of getting off the topic of sleep and my brain's rambling and it's in hamster brain mode. So much to do, so little time. Anyways. See, now my randomness is coming out because hamster brain and, like, nerves. And alright, guys, I think I'm gonna cut it off there. Thanks for watching. Just kind of wanted to make the pointer about sleep a little bit, so